can't recreate that, where the cars were, where the bikes were. So there's a lot that has already been spoliated or lost that we can't go back, but we're very happy that St. Louis County has taken this over and that we'll get answers.
And with the 3 witnesses that this case does still have, what story will they tell? What's the story that they're going to tell county police?
Well, we had the phone number for one witness who I was able to talk to about 5 minutes yesterday. Obviously, he's a little leery of the firestorm of media that's going to be coming his way, but he 100% corroborated Mr. Murdick's version of the events. He said that he was shocked that the mayor was not arrested at the time. He was angry at the mayor, and he may have let the mayor know that after he caught up with him, and he used his blinking lights, he yelled at him out the car to stop, and did a U-turn and went after him, as did the other witness who was in a car. He said at no time did Mr. Murdick try to hold on to the car, as the mayor suggested, and that he believes this absolutely was an assault that was deliberate and that it was intentional and that the mayor should have been arrested at that time.
The chief has just said that leaving the scene is not an issue because he came back. What's the litmus test in your legal understanding of whether this crosses that line that he left the scene?
Well, he was out of the eyesight of the victim. He was far down Old Graveler Road. And it took 2 people in vehicles going after him to get him to turn around. And once the mayor realized, and one of the witnesses will tell you that he was basically caught, that he came back. And in fact, the man in the truck was so unsure whether or not that the mayor, which he didn't know was the mayor at the time, whether or not the Mercedes would stop back up the road. He made another U-turn at the end of the bottom of Greveway and followed him back up to the scene and pulled in behind him. And that's when he gave him a piece of his mind.
Who needs to be held accountable?
Well, obviously, I think the mayor owes an apology. I think Sunset Hills needs to make a commitment to being a bicycle-friendly community and spreading the word that they care about cyclists as human beings, as grandfathers, as disabled veterans, as Mr. Murdick is, and that they're going to take steps to protect cyclists and to encourage drivers to learn how to share the road. Obviously, we are very upset with the Sunset Hills Police Department and the way that this was handled, and I think that education and training with the police on how to handle bicycle accidents and how to deal with when it's people in their own, own family, that they need to give those accidents to St. Louis County to investigate from the very beginning.
Are you suggesting that the mayor was intoxicated or that there was evidence that he was, or are you just saying that the circumstances of the crash would suggest that field sobriety test should have been administered?
Well, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't ram my Mercedes into anything if I was sober. The evidence did show that he was at a margarita restaurant, whether or not they had a license to serve alcohol makes no difference to me. At an opening of a margarita restaurant, I would suspect they would serve margaritas. And just that alone, I believe, justifies that there be a field sobriety test. In fact, if it is their boss, they should have taken every precaution to do everything to dot I's and cross T's to make sure there wasn't any question that they used a lighter hand with the mayor.
Can you say and spell your first and last name so